My name's Jonathan Adams. Originally from Yazoo, Mississippi. Now I live in Water Valley, Mississippi.
I'm Blake Summers, and I was born in Atwater, California. So my parents are from Merced, California, but I was raised in Eudora, Mississippi, and I went to Hernando High School, and I went to Ole Miss, and I still live here. So.
Okay. And how long have you been in the greater Oxford Water Valley area?
Since 2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you become a model in this series?
I think you just asked
I
us.
think outright asked you. This is almost like a
Yeah.
trick question.
Yeah.
You were actually the only people that I outright asked.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what did you do? Send like a letter? You're like, will you be my model?
That's like
No, actually, I didn't even know. It wasn't an ask at all of anybody else. And the only reason I asked you all was because you already knew Allison.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe she owned one of your pieces.
Yeah.
And so that gave me a context of like, oh, an artist who's already painting the figure and a model are people that you could already go to comfort. They're already comfortable with that realm. Where other people were kind of, I could be like, oh, people would be like, are you crazy? I'm not going to do that. I was like, at least they may say no, but they're not going to say that's ridiculous. You know, modeling nudes and all that. How did you think about that going in? Was it any different working with me, or how do you think about human form differently than other people, or anything in that realm? Because it's your comfort space, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Both of you.
I want to go. I actually found it a little limiting at first. I felt like we were given flowers, or we had like some kind of pretense together, and I feel like I don't get to pose with someone else. So I feel like that also kind of influenced I'm more naked publicly than he is, in person. Like I sit for him a lot, which I honestly hate. I don't like to even sit for him. I'm actually very modest. I don't even like to be shirtless and at home. Like it's a recent thing that I am confident. So it's kind of nice, to actually have confidence, and be comfortable with my body now. I hate it. I feel like a chunky lump of clay. I'm just like everyone else.
See, now I'm feeling terrible because I'm the one that put you in this position.
No, but it's an exercise,
Right.
That's what you do for art, is you do things you aren't used to.
Yeah.
So, as long as we're just hoping you want something, like for a single model for an artist, you just make a beautiful shape, but I feel like when you have a prop and another person that you're kind of communicating, like just with body language, it's completely different.
Yeah.
And you are someone that we're freshly working with, so we didn't really know how far you wanted, Did you want a handstand? Did you want a floppy, flaccid penis? We just wanted to give you something that you wanted, but it was very natural and easy.
For me, it was different because as of now, I don't know what the photos look like. I don't know what your painting's going to look like. And usually I'm controlling the whole process.
Uh-huh.
And so for me, it was an experience, just to be vulnerable with someone else. And I was nervous about it. And I'm still a little nervous about the image. I'm like, what do I look like to someone else? So this kind of, I was a little uncomfortable, but doing it, I felt really free. Afterward, I felt this rush of oh, that was fun. I got to do that. So I think that the main thing is I'm usually controlling the process. And so to kind of give up that control and surrender to what will be was nice.
What do you hope that history will see from this work? Once it's beyond our hands and there's not this connection with us telling these stories.
I like that Blake and me will be together. I like that will exist for a long time after us, I think. But as far as nudity goes, nudity has been an art for, a long time. It's still here. It's in the museums. I think depending on place and country sometimes, it is more taboo for certain groups of people to experience nudity in museums. So when I make my work, I don't really think about that because I'm it has been done before. Doing it in Mississippi as a gay person and showing our intimacy together, I feel is a big deal. But I think just myself as an artist who paints a lot of nudes, I don't know. I don't think much about I don't know. I don't see it as like a huge deal. I do see it as like a huge deal where we are, but in the big scheme of things, no.
I find it silly. I'm like, you're welcome. I know you've been curious. But that's what I love about it, about the community. It's just like you see people you know around town and you're like, I don't know. You see them and then you have an opportunity to see more of them. And you're like, do I want to see that? You know? And like people are so curious by nature, and especially like in Mississippi, they're curious. If there's an opportunity, they're gonna look. So I'm like, that's fine. It exists. And I mean, I don't know. Things are out there. Like just because you have clothes on doesn't mean you're not sexual, or, you know, like, I mean, I'm not scared of perception anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean, just because you see something doesn't mean that's what it means, you know?
Yeah.
So.
I also think like for myself, nudity within my art has been a way I've reclaimed like the way I feel about my body, because I used to feel a lot of shame with Christianity, and I mean shame around sex, shame around being gay, and so using my body in my art has kind of been a way of like liberating myself from feeling all that shame. So I also wanted, when you ask, I thought it was another opportunity to be like, here I am, I guess.
And I think it's important too that you